Hi, my name is Leona Dominguez Muller, and this is going to be the interview portion. So share a brief overview of the position you're interested in and your key qualifications. So I would be a before and after care worker, and my key qualifications would be working well with kids, since they'll be who I'm managing, and then communication, since I'll have other staff to work with, and communication is always good between you and the kids and the people that you're working around, so everybody's on the same page. Please share about a personal experience you have in resolving a conflict. So I've been in a lot of leadership positions and teams, so I've worked with a lot of people who wanted their ideas just represented or heard, and that often ends in conflict because not everybody's going to want the same thing, and they have the tendency to just yell back and forth at each other saying, I want this, well, I want this, and someone just has to intervene and kind of be like, hey, well, we have to meet in the middle somehow or else this isn't going to get planned, and it's just a waste of time. And so everybody's done it at some point or another in a leadership team. This just happened to be one example. Is we were working on a dance and we needed a theme and we need committees and we need to figure out who was going to be on which committee and so and so. And so I just said, let's write out our top 10 and then we'll vote. And so we did. And then from we set out our normal committees, and then we just put everybody's name in on straws and we drew them out of there, and then you were on that committee. And so that pretty much solved our problem. And then share a personal experience where you had to convince someone to change their perspective on a critical issue. Well, I don't know if this is too in-depth for what you guys want, but or if it's too controversial, but it's the only thing it was the first thing that popped up into my head. So actually, my sister and I had very different views on whether you were pro-choice or pro-life as far as abortions go. And it was very important to me, considering someone in my life was going through this and they had just been completely harassed in a horrible way about their decision. And I was trying to convince her to see why her side was disrespectful in the way that she presented it, and how it really affected people's lives. And I tried to tell her from a different perspective of how you can see things and how you can see the argument, and I'm not trying to undermine anybody's view on the subject because that's not what I'm here for, but I think it goes to show that I was able to explain to her why her point of view was insensitive or not necessarily wrong, I guess, because there's no right or wrong answer. I just think there's a more morally right answer. As far as it comes, I'm not going to say my opinion on it, but I think just changing her perspective meant a lot to me because it was something that hit really close to my heart, and I didn't want to be on the other side of it with someone so close to me that I cared about. I didn't want them going down a path where they were being so disrespectful that I didn't want to associate with them. So I tried to change their perspective, and it worked, thankfully. Anyways, how would your teachers describe you? Much lighter question. I would hope that they would describe me as a hardworking student. I do dedicate a lot of my work, so I believe that's shown in all of my schoolwork, so I think it's safe to say that they would think I'm a good student, or relatively good, I guess, when it comes to work doing, because there's really no limit for a good student. It's just, everybody excels in different points. I would also hope that they would say that I'm kind. I think that goes for peers as well. I just want people to see me as a kind person. I don't want to live my life in a way that would ever make people think anything other of myself. So I guess I try and live that way for everybody. I would hope that some people would be able to say I'm funny, because I can be, at least, in the right setting. And I would hope that peers would say that I care. I care about people. I do. I am always there for people when they need me to be, and I try and be a resourceful person. And I would like probably both teachers and peers to say that I'm a very knowledgeable person, because I do put a lot of my efforts into, I guess, expanding my knowledge. And so I would hope that that's reflected in my life, and I would hope that other people would be able to say that about me. How do you think COVID-19 is most affecting the position you're applying for? Well, considering it would be a school job, it is a little wary. So it actually had it listed. You would have to wear a mask, obviously, as that is still mandated here. So just wearing the mask, that's pretty much the only thing, and then extra sanitation. So you'd have a lot of hand sanitizer, wipes, and cleaning those tables, every surface that's touched, tables, doors, bathrooms, everything. Have it all cleaned every day, at least 3 times a day, I believe would be good, because kids are super germy, so it would be very helpful to have that. So I guess cleaning, keeping those masks on. A big thing as I've been working with kids is it's kind of difficult to tell them to keep their masks on just because they don't really understand, but they're really good at listening because kids are always told rules. They always have rules. So if you tell them, hey, this is a rule, we have to wear our masks, they listen. They do for the most part. It's just they kind of forget sometimes. So every once in a while it'll slip and I'll be like, mask up. And they're like, okay. And so they're really good about that. But I think that's one of the things that COVID definitely has an effect on, is everybody having to wear their masks. Please close the interview. Okay, so with my qualifications, I'm determined, I'm hardworking, I put my everything into all of my work, and I care about every individual that I work with, and so I never want anyone to feel like they're less valued or like I don't care about their part of the job or any of the kids. I want them to know that I'm here for them and I want to help them, and I'm willing to work with all the staff, and I want everybody to know that I'm just there to do my best job that I can and be there for everybody else. Like I said, I'm very knowledgeable, so I'm good with tutoring and helping kids with work, and I have good communication skills with parents, so I'm really good at working with them and talking them through behavioral issues with the kids and how we're kind of fixing that and working on it, or maybe it's just telling them, hey, your kid's doing great, or just keeping up with the schedule, talking to parents, what days their kids are coming in, figuring out all of that, getting planners filled out, and then working with other staff. I'm a pretty friendly and easy person to work with, I think. So I'm not usually big on conflict. It doesn't usually really happen with me. I don't think people have never really come to me and say, hey, I have this issue with you. So I would say that I'm a very personal kind of person. And people seem to like that take. And it works. So I would say my qualifications do make me prepared enough for this position, considering I've had work in childcare and customer relations. I believe I am totally ready for every aspect that this job has for me.